it's Erin from Supercoder. Welcome. We're excited to launch the first presentation in our Prepare for the CPC exam series. Today's topic is how to make the most of open book. As you know from all the information posted on the AAPC website, test takers are allowed to bring 3 coding reference books into the exam room. First, the CPT coding manual. Second, your ICD-9 manual, and third, your HCPCS manual. But as we all know, open book does not mean easy. Time management is one of the biggest challenges that exam takers face, and you'll need to be able to get around in the books quickly. You've only got 5 hours, and you've got 150 questions to answer in those 5 hours. So you've got to prepare yourself to get around in the books quickly. Today I'm going to talk about some strategies I used before the exam to help prepare myself to find information in my reference books quickly. And I also talked to some successful CPC exam takers to find out what they did. Tip number 1, spend some time getting to know each and every part of your reference books. In our regular jobs, we tend to hang out in particular parts of the book, and we might not even know what's there in other parts of the book we don't use in our jobs that may be very helpful in an exam situation. Tip number 2, when you find these treasures in your CPT book, tap them because they could be useful in an exam situation. As an example, your CPT book has anatomy diagrams in the beginning, and if you're stumped on one of the anatomy or terminology questions you encounter in the exam, that could be the place that you turn. The neoplasm table in the ICD-9 coding book is also a tool that you could potentially use in that way to deduce the answers to the terminology questions. Tip number 3, tab sections that will be particularly helpful to you. The AAPC says that you may tab sections of the book with your own post-it notes or office supplies or whatever, and that can be a help in finding things that you think you're going to need in the exam. Tip number 4, highlight section guidelines that you should remember to eyeball. Most test takers look in the CPT section notes, the guidelines, and they highlight important points because in those guidelines is often key to answering a lot of the questions about the coding rules. Finally, tip number 5, write yourself marginal notes. Once again, you're allowed to write handwritten marginal notes in your CPT book. One thing that people do is write acronyms or common terms of procedures next to code descriptors so that they don't have to waste time looking in the CPT alphabetic index for nicknames for procedures that aren't in the code descriptor. So for example, one test taker I talked to wrote things like TVT next to things like code 57284. Just to help him make those connections should he have a question like that in the exam. Thanks for joining us today, and look for other CPC exam prep tips on supercoder.com. If you have ideas for what we should cover in future installments of these series, let us know in the comment section and we'll try to help you out. Once again, thanks for joining us on supercoder.com, where coders matter.